Okay, let us get into the first problem of residence status. Let us first cover the problem. Meanwhile, when we are going through the problem, let us discuss what are the key things which we should put in mind when we start solving the problem. Now, let us read the question. Mr. Jagadish, aged 61 years, has set up a business in Thailand and has been residing in Thailand since 20 years. He owns a house property. He owns a house property where in Bangkok, half of which is used as his residence and half is given on rent. Okay, such rent converted into INR 6 lakhs. The annual value of the property in Thailand is 50 lakhs converted into INR. Now, what is the meaning of this? He is doing a business in Thailand, residing in Thailand, and he is also having a house in Bangkok, where which is used by him for his residence purpose, and also part of the half of the house has been let out. He has purchased a flat in Pune during financial year 15-16, which had been given on monthly rent of 27,500. Apart from having a house in Bangkok, he is also having a house in Pune. What is the rent of that? The rent of that is going to be 27,500 per month. When this house was acquired, this house was purchased in 15-16. This rent was given since 1st July 2018. The annual property tax was 40,000, which was paid by Mr. Jagadish whenever he comes to India. Mr. Jagadish visited India in July 2018. See, when we discussed income from house property, there we have discussed one point that municipal taxes paid by the SSC, paid by the owner, paid is read as reduction. So in this case, it is mentioned that the municipal taxes are paid whenever he comes to India. When he came recently, he came to India in July 2018. That means what? In 1920, he has not visited India. So has not visited India, he has not paid the municipal taxes. So as the municipal taxes is not paid for the financial year of the previous year 1920, you should not take the annual property tax as a deduction. Then he has taken a loan from Union Bank for purchase of the Pune flat amounting to 15 lakhs. The loan amount is coming to 15 lakhs. Interest for the financial year is coming to 84,000. Interest for the last quarter has not been paid. Again, section 24 says interest on loan borrowed for the purpose of construction of house property is allowed as deduction. So there is no point mentioned in section 24 that interest will be allowed only if it is paid. So even though that is not paid, as the loan is borrowed for the purpose of construction, the act clearly says you can take the 84,000 as deduction. Then house in Jaipur was sold in May 2015, in respect of which received an arrears of rent of 96,000 in February 2020, not taxed earlier. Arrears of rent 25A. What 25A says? 25A says clearly, whenever you receive any sort of arrears of rent, if the arrears of rent is not taxed earlier, that is taxable, even though you don't possess the house property at the time of visit of the arrears of rent. Arrears of rent was received in February 20. The house was sold in 2015. That means by the date on which the arrears of rent was received, Mr. Jagadish is not the owner of the property. But as per the said section, 96,000 is taxable as income from house property. But you can take 30% as a standard deduction from this 96,000. Apart from this, he has derived some other income in the financial year 1920. What is that? Profits from business in Thailand, 2,75,000. Interest on bonds of Japanese company, 45,000, out of which 50% was received in India. Income from apple orchard in Nepal, given on a contract, and yearly contract was 5 lakhs for the financial year 1920, which was deposited directly by the contractor in the Kathmandu branch of the Union Bank in Mr. Jagadish account maintained in Union Bank of India's Pune branch. So means what? Income is received by Mr. Jagadish from a Nepal contractor. What this amount has done, the contractor has deposited this amount in Kathmandu branch, where in Jagadish bank account, where the bank account is maintained, the bank account is maintained in Pune branch. So the bank account is maintained in Pune branch, there this amount was deposited. So there are two views. Either you can go with view 1 or you can go with view 2. We'll discuss that. When I start working the problem, we'll discuss. Now what is asking? Compute total income of Mr. Jagadish for the assessment year 1920. So he's asking you to determine the total income for the assessment year 2011 to 2020-21. That's what is the thing which we need to calculate. So determine the to determine the total income, I need to focus on the residential status. We need to determine whether he is a resident but ordinary resident or non-resident. So first of all, I need to decide whether he is a resident or non-resident. So in this case, basically what is mentioned, last visit to India is on July. That means the person has visited recently to India on July 2018. So in the year 1920, this person has not visited India. So as he has not visited India during the year 1920, ultimately what I have to consider? I have to consider what? His residential status as non-resident. Why? Because he has not satisfied both the basic conditions. First basic condition is what? Stay in India during the period for 182 days or more. That part is not satisfied. Second condition is what? Or 60 days or more during the current previous year. Current previous year has not stayed even for 1 day. So ultimately, both the conditions are not said to be satisfied. So ultimately what? He is said to be called as non-resident. When he is non-resident, then ultimately what? As per incidence of taxation, what will happen? Any sort of income earned by him or received by him, accrued to him, arise to him, deemed to be received, deemed to be accrued in India, then only that income is taxable. Otherwise, that income is not taxable. So that's the reason the residential status in this case is very, very important. Now, let us start with the problem. There we'll try to understand how do we address all these sort of issues. Okay. Now let us get into the solution part here. Computation of total income of Mr. Jagadish for the assessment year 2021. Now, computation of total income of Mr. Jagadish for assessment year 2021 is as follows. Let us see. Take here particulars, take here amount in rupees, here also same thing, amount in rupees. Now, the first thing, if we go back to the problem, what is the first one? The first point is focusing on the income from house property situated in Bangkok. First, let us write it here. Income from house property. Income from house property. Where the property is located? In Bangkok. You explain this clearly as a part of your working note number 1. Now let us discuss what I need to explain there. Now what is mentioned, if you go back to the problem and read it, the house is in Bangkok, half of which is used by his residence and half is given on rent. Such rent received, where it is received, assuming the rent is received in Bangkok. So income accrued in Bangkok, received in Bangkok. So ultimately that's not an Indian income. So first visit is happening in Bangkok. Then what has been done? Converted into INR is 6 lakhs. Later on converted to INR, but the first visit is what? In Bangkok. So as the first visit is in Bangkok, we are supposed to consider this as not as income, which we have to consider this as income arised, accrued, received in Bangkok. So being a non-resident, it is not taxed in the hands of Mr. Jagadish. Done. Then, so we are done with the first part. Then what he has done? Purchased a plot in Pune. So during the financial 15-16, he has purchased a plot in Pune, which has been given on rent since 1st July at a rent of rupees what? 27,500. Income accrued, arised in Pune, received in Pune. So ultimately this is to be taxable in the hands of Mr. Jagadish. Now let us go to the answer sheet there. Okay. Then one second. So based on this, now what we are supposed to do? We are supposed to consider here income from property in Pune. So what we'll do, let us put this in your working note. There you calculate entire thing and take the values to this. So here what? Income from house property. So he is having income from house property. Where the house is located? In Pune. So in Pune, you calculate the gross annual value, you compute your net annual value, you give the standard deduction, everything you show as a part of your working note number 2, then you bring the summary to this. That's what is nothing but your second thing. We'll do that. We'll do it at a later stage. Now let us move back to the problem there. Now what the question says here? The question also says that interest on such loan, of course, etc., etc. This we'll consider when we are calculating your income from house property. Then what is the next part? He had a house in Jaipur which was sold on so and so date, received some sort of arrears of rent. So now even this will try to put as a part of your working note there. So now income from house, we'll call this as what? Arrears of rent. Even the arrears of rent is also taxable as something called as income from house property. So now let us consider this as what? Income from house property, where in Jaipur, you are also having a house in Jaipur. So income from house property in Jaipur. This will discuss clearly, the provision of arrears of rent will discuss clearly when we are going through your working note number 3. There we will clearly discuss this part. Now let us move back to the problem. Now what is mentioned? He has also derived the following income: profits from business in Thailand. Now I need to go to the next part. Business income. So till now we had focused on income from house property. Now we are considering something called as the business income. Where the business is done? The business is done in Thailand. Income from profit from business in Thailand, 2,75,000. Income earned outside India, accrued outside India, received outside India. So ultimately it is not taxable in the hands of a non-resident. That we need to mention clearly as a part of your working note number 4. In working note number 4, you should explain this aspect clearly. Now that will write when we are going through the working notes. Then if we move on to the next, what is the other things mentioned? Interest on bonds of Japanese company, will come to that. Income from apple orchard in Nepal given on a contract. So ultimately this is nothing but your business income. See, always when you compute your total income, you should follow the order. Income from salaries, income from house property, business income, capital gains, then income from other sources. So here income received from a contractor. So income received from, let us see what is the name which is given there. Income received from apple orchard Nepal. So now let us write it there. That is also called as a business income. Income received from apple orchard Nepal. Let us put this as a part of your working note number 5. Then we can take that. Then what? Then the last point here. Then the last point is nothing but, interest on Japanese bonds 45,000, of which 50% was received in India. See, total interest income is 45,000. This 45,000, 50,000 is 50% is received in India. That means what? 45,000 into 50%. 22,500 is received in India. So ultimately only 25,500 is taxable in India. So ultimately next is what? Next is nothing but interest on bonds of Japanese company. So interest of bonds in Japanese company. Okay, this 22,500 is taxable in India. So ultimately what is taxable in India? In India the amount taxable is going to be 22,500. This will explain clearly when we go with something called as working note number 6. There we'll try to see the complete explanation of this. Then what? Then that's it. So derived so and so income from this 5 lakhs we had considered, 2,75,000. We need to write the notes. Now only one thing is pending. We need to write the working notes, calculate the amount and bring it here. So ultimately what is this total called as? Generally this total is called as our gross total income. So we'll be calling this as what? Gross total income. So we'll do this. Once we finish off your working note, then we can arrive at your gross total income. So this total of all your income is said to be called as gross total income. From this gross total income, what I'm supposed to do? Less deductions under section 80C to 80U. In this problem, we don't have any sort of deductions. So whatever gross total income I have, the same gross total income will be said to be called as my total income. So that's the basis of calculation of your total income. Now, okay, let us try to go to your working notes. So in the working notes, let us try to determine each and every component so that we can finish off the problem. Now, what was your first working note? Let us see. Your first working note is about income from house property in Bangkok. Now we need to give an explanation. Now let us first put a heading of something called as a working note. So what is my working note number 1? Let us see. Working note number 1. So working note number 1, the first part of the working note here, I need to consider house in Bangkok. Now let me explain this again. So it is mentioned that the SSC is having a house property in Bangkok. Income is received in Bangkok. So as the income is received in Bangkok, it's not an Indian income. So first of all, we should determine the residence status. Before getting into this working note, let us explain first of all the residential status, then we'll get into the working notes there. Now, residential status. I need to determine the residential status of Mr. Jagadish. Okay, of Mr. Jagadish for assessment year 2021. Let us see how we can determine this. How we can determine the residential status? Let us see. Now, Jagadish, Mr. Jagadish is non-resident. For what? Non-resident for assessment year 2021. Why? Because he has not satisfied. He has not satisfied at least one of basic conditions. What are the basic conditions? Which is stay in India. Stay in India for at least 182 days or more. Stay in India for at least 182 days or more is the first condition. Or what is the second condition? 60 days or more during 60 days or more during the relevant previous year. 60 days or more during relevant previous year and 365 days or more during 4 preceding previous years. He has not satisfied even a single condition. How you are able to tell he is not satisfied the single condition? Because in the problem it is mentioned last visit was on July 2018. That means his stay in India during what? 1920, during the previous year 1920 is 0, as he has not stayed in India during the previous year at least for a period of 1 day. He will be said to be called as non-resident. So hence he is termed as non-resident. Now let us get into your working note number 1. Now let us start with your working note number 1. What is your working note number 1? Your working note number 1 is about, one second, we will get to that. So working note number 1 is about something called as income from what? House property located in Bangkok. Now let us see that. Now what he is mentioning you? He is mentioning you that income from house in Bangkok is received, accrued, erased where? In Bangkok. Hence not taxable in hands of Mr. Jagadish. In hands of Mr. Jagadish. Why? Being non-resident. So being non-resident, it is not taxable. So income from house in Bangkok is received and accrued and erased in Bangkok. So hence not taxable in hands of Jagadish, being a non-resident, because any income which is called as an Indian income is taxable. That's what is was first working out. Then let us move on to second. What we are supposed to do there? Income from house property in Pune is the second working out. Now let us compute something called as income from house property in Pune. So income from house property in Pune we are supposed to calculate. For this I need to consider gross annual value. So I need to compute something called as gross annual value. So in this problem we need not work hard because only one thing is given, annual rent is given. So I need to determine something called as annual rent. What is the rent at which the property is given on rent? It is given at it's here 27,500. So the rent of the building is 27,500 per month. So 27,500 into 12 if I do, I'll be getting my annual rent. 27,500 into 12, that is going to give you 3,30,000. I need to consider less municipal taxes. So in this case I cannot take the municipal taxes because I need to consider municipal taxes paid by the owner. It is clearly mentioned in the problem that taxes are paid only when he is coming to India. During the current year he has not came to India, so ultimately my gross annual value will become my net annual value as my municipal tax is 0. So what is my annual value there? 3,30,000 being my annual value of the house property situated in Pune. Now from this what I need to do? I need to reduce my deductions under section 24, of which what is the first one? Standard deduction is the first one. So standard deduction is always 30% of your net annual value. So my net annual value is 3,30,000. On the 3,30,000 if I consider 30%, my standard deduction is 99,000 is my standard deduction. Now apart from this I need to consider something called as interest. Interest on loan for construction. Let us see what is the amount of interest which is given for construction. So it is mentioned clearly that interest is 84,000. So I need to consider interest paid or payable. So it is mentioned that interest for the last quarter is not paid, but entire amount of interest can be taken as deduction. So 84,000 will be allowed as deduction. So this gives us what? Let us put this in bracket because these are deductions. So gross annual value 3 lakh, net annual value 3,30,000 minus 99,000, 3,30,000 minus standard deduction of 99,000 minus interest on loan borrowed 84,000. Total put together income from house property in Pune is coming to 1,47,000. So let us consider it here 1,47,000. So this is nil, this is nil. So ultimately I can consider directly in the outer column 1,47,000. So 1,47,000 is the value. 1,47,000. That's nothing but your income from house property in Pune. Now the similar sort of working notes has to be done for your arrears of rent. So now let us move on to working note number 3. So working note number 3 is all about computation of income from house property in Jaipur. Computation of income from house property in Jaipur we need to consider. So let us roll back to the question here. What the question says, 96,000 is the arrears of rent received. So now if we discuss the provision 25A, what the section says, even though the arrears of rent is received, if it is not taxed earlier, taxable in the year of receipt. So what is the year of receipt? The year of receipt is nothing but 1920. So this 96,000 is taxable in the year of 1920. And the 25A also clearly mentions you taxable even the property is not there. So now we need to calculate this. So now what the act says here, arrears of rent, arrears of rent. What is the arrears of rent? 96,000. Arrears of rent is going to be 96,000. So whatever arrears of rent you receive, 96,000 has to be considered. The act says you can provide only one deduction, which is nothing but your standard deduction, which is going to be 30%. So 96,000 into 30%, that gives me 28,800 is the value. So now if I reduce this, 96,000 minus 28,800, I'll be getting 67,200. This 67,200 is taxable as your income from house property. Now let us mention the provision of this section clearly here. What the act says here, taxable as income from house property in year of receipt. Even SSC is not owner. So even he is not the owner, that is taxable as income from house property if not taxed earlier. So now let us go above and let us consider as 67,200 in the statement. So now in the statement I should consider this as what? 67,200 I had to consider. Then I need to take the business income. Then we need to go with the working note number 5 and working note number 6. With that, problem can be done. Now working note number 4, business income. Let us come here. Okay, working note number 4. Working note number 4. What is that? Business income. Why the business income is taxable? Is not taxable? Business is done. Business is done in Thailand. Business is done in Thailand. As the business is done in Thailand means what? Income. Income arised. Income is arised. Income is received where? In Thailand. So as the income is arised and received in Thailand, not taxable. Not taxable in hands of Mr. Jagadish. In hands of Mr. Jagadish. Why? Being non-resident. Being non-resident, that income is not taxable. That's what is nothing but your working note number 5. Sorry, working note number 4. Now we should get into working note number 5. Okay, let us see what is your working note number 5 so that we can go to working note number 6. Now let us see working note number 5. Let us roll back to the problem there. Working note number 5. What is your working note number 5? Basically, income received from apple orchard. Yeah. Now, income received from apple orchard, I need to consider 5 lakhs. Why? Whether I had to consider or not consider. So, let us write the working note. So, what is happening here? Income received from Nepal contractor. So, the contractor is based in Nepal. So, income received from a Nepal contractor amounting to rupees 5 lakhs. What the contractor has done? Deposited. The money was deposited in Kathmandu. Okay, in short, the money was deposited where? The money was deposited in Nepal. So the money was deposited in Nepal. In whose account? In account of Mr. Jagadish. In Jagadish account. Where the account is maintained? In account of Mr. Jagadish. The account is maintained in Pune. So in Jagadish account, in Pune branch. Now, there are two views for this. As per one view, I will consider income is received in India. So hence, income is received in India. That's what is my first view. So as income is received in India, taxable in hands of whom? In hands of Mr. Jagadish. So the same 5 lakhs is taxable in the hands of Mr. Jagadish. That's what is the fifth point. Okay, now let us go here. Let us write it as 5 lakhs. So income from apple orchard, 5 lakhs. I need to consider it as my income as 5 lakhs. That's what is one view. Alternatively, what I can do, I can take another assumption. Alternatively. So this is an other option which is available. Now, okay, alternative. Other alternative is what? If I assume first received in Nepal. The income was first received in Nepal, later remitted. Later on, remitted to where? Remitted to India. If I take a stand that first received in Nepal, later on remitted to India, then the same becomes not taxable. So it's your wish. As the problem is not clearly specified, so you can take the first stand or you can take the second stand. If you take the first stand, 5 lakhs is taxable. If take the second stand, 5 lakhs is not taxable. Then working note number 6, which is nothing but your lost working note. Let us see what is this. So what is this? Is nothing but your Japan bonds. So what the Japan bonds is speaking about? The total income of the Japanese bonds is what? Is going to be 45,000. 50% of the income is received in India. 50% is received outside. So ultimately here, if I go to the working note here, so what I have to consider? Income erased, accrued, or deemed to be erased. Okay, deemed to be erased, or received, or received, or deemed to be received. Where? In India. In India is taxable, okay, in hands of non-resident. So only that portion is taxable in the hands of a non-resident. Interest income from Japan company is rupees 45,000, of which only 50% is received where? In India. So what we are doing? Hence only 50%, which is, what is amounting to 50%? Which is 22,500, which is 22,500 rupees is taxable. So that is the reason only 22,500 rupees is being taxable. So with this we had done with all your working notes, and what I can do, I can simply do the total. I can get the gross total income, which is nothing but my total income. Let us quickly close the problem here. 1,47,000 plus 67,200 plus 5 lakhs plus 22,500. So the total is going to give you 7,36,500. So the gross total income 7,36,700. So as you don't have any 80 deductions, my total income is also 7,36,500. 700. That's the basis of doing your problem. So you should, presentation should be very proper. Whatever assumptions you take, whatever you do, that should be forming part of your working notes. Okay, so that's the end of this problem.